Are you ready? Can Crush Us. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers, let's go.
Hello, this is the Queen City Killer, Clara Carter, and I surprisingly love the Can Crushers podcast, so you should definitely go give it a listen.
Hello! Boy, are we excited to be back. The boys are back in town. Nothing against Ryan from the Final Count, but the boys are back. Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. That is the returning Sir Michael Jenks.
I'm back.
You missed one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year.
I know, I'm mispredicting it.
When you're the champ, though.
You know, sometimes the champ's just gotta sit on a beach and just with his title and look out on the waves. Just be engaged with that beach. That's all it is.
Wonder what jabron's gonna come someday and attack you. You just broke your pen, by the way.
I dropped it. I was good. We were good for 3 seconds, and I dropped my pen. But
we were professional, yeah.
We were professional, and now I screwed it up. So whatever. But
so yes, Sir Michael Jenks was on vacation. We'll take some time to talk about that because big to-dos and yada yada yada. Sir Jenks, this is your time. We'll get into college football. We'll get into professional wrestling. We'll get into SummerSlam. Stick and stay, folks. First and foremost, though, I hope everybody on the East Coast is fine. I know there's flooding everywhere. We're getting nothing like what some of the people down south and stuff are getting, but we are getting flooding up in my area as well. So we're all hands on deck, waiting for phone calls possibly. We don't know, but I hope everybody's safe and, just trudging through this essentially.
Yeah, stay safe. This is a tough time when you have hurricanes rolling through, remnants of them reaching up into our neck of the woods. Besides that point, it's ridiculous, but hopefully everyone is safe, they're sound. If you're stayed in the area that's impacted, I hope you're buttoned up, batting down the hatches, everything's fine on your end. Bailey wishes the same thing. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. At least they're getting through this as best they can.
And before we go any farther, earlier today, we lost a wrestling legend. Some may say he was a dirty player in the game. Some, whatever. But probably one of the greatest minds in professional wrestling. I had the honor to meet him a few WrestleCades ago. The Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, and Jenks, I'll go real quick. I know he had that horrible, Dungeon of Doom thing and everything, but when I think of Kevin Sullivan, I think of the Varsity Club, Rotundo, and the Steiners and everything. That's my first interaction with him. Then I went back and watched some of his older stuff, essentially, but I loved him as the coach, and then he just became that great mind in wrestling, and they're still using some of his concepts for this, that, or the other. Tough loss here in wrestling.
Yeah, my first first watch of him was obviously before the Dungeon of Doom. It was a lot of the stuff with Cactus Jack and, him, Jack, and the Nasties versus the Nasties in a street fight was one of my first remembering things, and just remembering I hated the Flyers after that point. But, he was an underappreciated talent. No matter what you thought of him or how he was or how he acted or anything like that. He was still underappreciated, and he drove WCW behind the scenes for the entire 1990s. It's just a matter of fact, if you're talking booking, Kevin Sullivan was there in some capacity, some way, somehow. They're in the ring, out of the ring. He's a legend through and through, all the way up to the earlier this year when he did that stuff with Karrion Kross. That one vignette. It was good to see him back. We were hoping for more. And then he got, and it's unfortunate, but heavy loss, definitely in the wrestling world felt today.
Yeah, so we'll raise our glasses and our drinks to Kevin Sullivan. Rest easy, rest in peace, and thank you for all you've done. Tough transition, but it needs to, because we need to get to 2 weeks, no Michael Jenks. He comes back tan, comes back svelte, comes back with a little chip on his shoulder. He's looking great.
I come back from slacking off, basically, just sitting on the beach.
Good for you.
Being a jabroni on the beach, listening to Mark talk shit about me last week, start the podcast and all that. But hey, it was well deserved. But you know what? It was a good vacation. Finally got to relax, kick my feet back, and kind of mellow out. Beat the family I went with on vacation in mini golf. Kept rolling on and rolling on.
Bragging.
I gotta brag. I mean, I beat them all. Beat Kimberly's dad by one stroke both times. We went twice. Fantastic. I felt dignified in that. Ate crab dip.
What I'm jealous about.
Soft shell crab, surprisingly good. I don't know. So I tried new things and, got very much, started the next chapter of the life here going on, because I got down on one knee and proposed to Kimberly. And instead of saying yes, although she probably said yes, she just ripped the ring out of my hand and just put it on. So then my ass struggles to get out of the sand, and she yanks me in after that. So it was a beautiful moment, but yeah, she did say yes. So we are engaged to be wed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Were you wearing khakis and barefoot doing this on the beach, or did you just
kind of khaki shorts, barefoot, Hawaiian shirt? Couldn't get any better than that. So
the Jimmy Buffett moment.
It was a Jimmy Buffett moment for sure. My cousin Steven was very happy about the Hawaiian shirt being included in this, by the way. He's an aficionado of Hawaiian shirts, loves them all, so this was his big thing. But little backstory, she wanted to do a date night. She found a Hawaiian shirt that matched the dress she had, and she's like, let's do this. And I'm like, all right. So in my mind, I'm like, well, this doesn't get more Hallmark than this, so I need to propose here on the beach on the Atlantic Ocean, and I knew she was going to say yes, but you still have that fear and that doubt. So she said yes. We kissed. Strangers took our photos. I recorded a special video. That's for us.
Weird.
It was weird. So the whole time we're on the beach. We're there for a half hour. We get there on the Saturday before, and I'm like, nobody's on this beach. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. It's 7:00. Nobody's on this beach. We can get it done and just watch the sunset, right? Well, I did it the Thursday after. There's fucking families. There's a zoo. There's like shit people are everywhere. And I'm like, the hell is going on? And I'm like, God damn it. So eventually people clear out a little bit. We get a lot of space. I'm like, hey, she wanted to get my picture with the lifeguard chair. I go, let's go over there and do that now while there's nobody there. So we did that. Then I started playing with the phone. I put it on one of the rungs of the ladder, take a photo. I go, no, I didn't like that angle. I'll put it down. Turn on video. Why is the video on? Don't worry about it. Take the ring out of my pocket. Sure enough, I open the fucking thing.
Balls.
So fucking the padding for it is one's in the lid of the fucking container, one's on the bottom, the ring's sideways, and I'm pretty sure I said fuck under my breath before it, and I said, well, will you marry me? She's screaming, are you serious? Are you for real? Rips the ring out of my hand. I'm left to my own devices trying to get my fat ass out of the sand. And then she yanked me in for a kiss. It was a beautiful moment. We turn around. There's a mother with her 5 kids just snapping photos left and right. She was nice enough to share those with us. So we have the stills of the moment, and then we have a special video for us to kind of commemorate it afterwards. Yeah, watch me fumble through this ring and kind of be like, kind of disappointed, but not. And then it was
cannot wait to see this. Cannot wait.
Such a fucking thing. It's not as obvious. If I had not told you, you'd probably look at it and be like, oh, it's a very nice moment, right? But it was fucking...
Oh, now I'm looking for it. When I see it, I'm going to be looking for it.
Oh, you're going to have to look for it, yeah. I was like, motherfucker. So, but, hey, it all worked out in the end. So, now engaged in the beautiful life ahead of us, and I barely made it 12 hours before I had to figure out the guest list, so that we're off and running now.
Yeah. The suspense, we'll keep you in suspense. More to come on everything now this is awesome. This would be a wedding planning show and wrestling show.
It will be. We got our first venue look up next week, so we're going to be seeing how that goes.
Awesome. Then DJ and catering and start planning this, that, and the other.
We were joking. We were like, we should just go to a justice of the peace and call it a day.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
She loved it.
I'm not saying that she didn't.
Well, yeah, I get it, but we were like, well, families and all that need to come together. It was a jokingly thing, but at the same time, she's like, I'd get married tomorrow if I could. And I go, yeah, so would I, but we need to do this right by celebrate it with the ones that we love close enough to us and all that. So, whoop, whoop. There'll be some can crushing at a wedding soon.
Oh, boy. So we need a hotel, then.
Well... Depending on where we're at, we're all going to need hotels at some point. So we'll see what happens. But
yeah,
more to come.
More to come. But what you guys are really waiting for, because really, we haven't had a real show in over a month.
Yeah.
So, Jenks, how was your first experience playing EA college football?
Let's talk, because it's been fantastic, wonderful, amazing.
I hate the game. I love the game. Yeah,
you love the game. You're on the edge of your seat. You're dropping F-bombs, potentially throwing control. The amount of TikToks I've seen of one kid breaking controllers left and right is just hilarious to me, by the way. But, oh man. You know what we said before? We were only doing Dynasty. We're only doing Dynasty. We're only doing Dynasty.
I'm living by that yet.
You are. Guess who's in year 3 of Road to Glory? This idiot. Because I'm like, yeah, you know what? Okay, Dynasty's cool. Let me try Road to Glory real quick. Get Road to Glory booted up. Man, it's fucking fast. It was because it's fast gameplay. You're only in on your snaps. Then you're figuring out, okay, one quick practice drill. You got to spend 6 points on academics, this, that, whatever. So now I'm in year 3, transferred to Oregon. Made it to, I think it was runner-up in the Heisman. I'm a halfback. So, runner-up in the Heisman at North Carolina. Got to the college football championship game against USC. They stopped handing me the ball off and then got pretty much obliterated during that. So, it was like, I was doing the best I could, but then it just kept... It's not good head coaching. So, I had to take my talents elsewhere. And now I'm on the West Coast. I started on Army, moved to North Carolina. Now I'm going to Oregon. And I'm second string at Oregon.
Ooh.
My thought is we're losing a quarterback to the draft. North Carolina's taking a step back. So my thought is, why am I going to stay on North Carolina? Oregon's contending. We'll see what happens. I'll work my way back up. But yeah.
I, on the other hand, have only been Dynasty, and Jenks has lived the first season when I was FIU. Jenks has lived each moment with me because
I was
16 hours deep the first day of playing. I really thought I was having chest pains and heart attacks. I'm like, Jenks, I don't know what's going on because this game was just so frustrating, and then I would do something. I'm on essentially year 4 of my dynasty. I national champion the whole time. Okay,
Yeah.
FIU got their national champion. I just didn't like the team because it was too strugglesome. So I left from Florida. I went to East Carolina. Won national championship there. Again, struggling to get it. And listen, again, I'm not playing on Heisman. I'm not playing on All-American. I'm struggling on varsity.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine these people that are good playing on shit like that.
Playing on Heisman and shit.
Yeah, you're stupid. Because this game is fun, but I don't want it not to be fun. I'm okay winning 24-17 or something like that.
Yeah.
But losing up until I get that 24th point, that's what I want it to be. I don't want to be 63-3.
Yeah.
Those games have happened when I was practicing.
Yeah.
That does nothing for me.
Yeah.
So I'm on after year 3 of East Carolina, I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm like, everybody knows my goal is to get the Pitt. My coach is now like at 25, which I'm the coach. And I'm like, these are where I take my talents to Pitt now. Offers came up. And it was same stuff, Sun Belt or all the American. I'm like, man, I don't want any of that. I'm going to hold out to week 2 of the coaching carousel.
Yeah.
I'll take any Big Ten team now or any Big Ten SEC team. Nothing again. Like I was 3 national championships under me by then, and I'm not getting a job offer. I'm like, what have I done? Why can I not go? I'm getting job offers, but again, it's Kennesaw State, it's Army, it's not where I want to go.
Yeah.
No big schools. So I'm like, all right, as of right now, as you guys are listening to this, I am finishing year 3 in East Carolina, and I'm losing my voice. I'm going to be finishing year 3 in East Carolina, which will be my 4th year overall. This is my final year in East Carolina, Jenks. Like, I don't have that buffer contract either.
Yeah.
Like, I think they would just renew me anyway if I win again.
But
what do I do? Like, you have to tell me that some bigger schools are going to be coming at me, because I'm predicting it, with 4 national championships.
Yeah. Bailey agrees.
Yeah.
But it must be something to do with the contract. Maybe they're going to wait it out till the contract ends, and then they feel like they can swoop in and get you. I don't know.
I also wondered, like, is there, I'm going to call it a glitch, but it's probably not a glitch. It's just the word I'm using. Is there something in that I picked that I'm a Pitt alum? You know how you pick where you graduated from to be a coach? I picked Pitt. Does that only turn on when I get to 30 or something like that? Do they not want me until I have done so much? Like, maybe if I went to SMU, Pitt would have already come knocking on the door saying, yeah, we want you. But now that I'm a Pitt alum, which to me, that's where I want to coach.
Yeah.
Once I get to Pitt, it's 20 years running of just destroying. I will stay with Pitt the whole time once I get there. Do they know that? Does the game know that that's my end-all goal? I'm already a CEO. Me and Mercedes Monet, because I've had the points. I'm CEO. I don't have my whole thing, but I thought, CEO has got to be something great.
Right.
By the way, there's not a lot of great stuff in CEO.
No.
I don't know if you bought it yet or not.
No.
I don't know. And everything costs like triple. It's like $18 to buy the nuggets inside of there.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm mad at the game because I'm like, Pitt's not good on the game. Pitt got good on the game. And it's pissing me off because I'm like, they're not going to fucking fire their coach.
No, because he's doing good. He wants nothing to do with you. They're like, we got our shit. It's over. You're going to end up having to coach for like Syracuse or something like that.
Oh, and that was my other thing. I never wanted to beat Pitt either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need out of the Sun Belt. I need out of the American Conference. Because I'm changing the schedule up. I'm playing Alabama. And these schools don't even sniff Alabama or, the top-rated team. I want to play teams like that each and every week, not just 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I was number 1 overall. And then I get into my league.
And you go down. I start
dropping. I'm like, there's nothing else I can do to keep East Carolina 1 for an entire season.
Yeah. You can't do anything. It's a strength of schedule. It's like that. You'll sneak into the playoff because you're the group 12 of 5. Yeah, group of 5 winner, but you're still dealing with all that bullshit that comes with it. You have to play an extra round, then you have to go 4 instead of 3.
They just did an update, by the way, and I have not played it since the update.
I started playing it. I did both modes today. And they tell you if you're in offline mode, it says a patch update has been applied. It has affected your offline mode. And then you go in there, not really much has changed. The one thing that changed noticeably for me, there's a lot that changed, but the visuals that changed, the playoff visual, it's like an actual bracket now. It's not like 4 things.
Yeah, which looks stupid, by the way.
It looked horrible. And now it kind of looks better, whatever. I can't remember what all the things are, but man, a lot of the improvements for like, this play doesn't work as well now, or this play doesn't do this.
Oh no, really?
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of the spin move. Because routinely, the spin move, you could spin and you're just spinning. There's that video that went out, I think last week, of the kid spamming spin with an Ohio State player just all the way down the field. I think they fixed that logic around that. And then there's other logic that they've kind of fixed as well in there. But
this is what happens when you don't play in a couple days. Because like I said, real life hit, and I'm back to an adult schedule now. So
yeah, I'm week 7. Well, this will be my 7th game. I'm up against Notre Dame right now. I haven't in the middle of it because we started recording, and then I was like, okay, struggling with Notre Dame. I'm Central Florida, so I went with the Knights, who have that de facto 2017 national championship, even though they didn't do shit to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm the Knights right now. We're doing okay. We're undefeated, that's for sure. But Notre Dame's obviously the first team that's really been of substance. We're in the ACC. I restructured everything when I first started it. And we're in the ACC, so it's kind of, we got a lot of stiff competition, but Notre Dame's the first big one. And I don't think we have any bigger one than Florida State later on in the year. So
you've followed it a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, had to. We've been running, we've been throwing, we've been doing a lot of shit trying to get recruiting figured out and all of that stuff too.
That's a whole nother podcast, recruiting.
Podcast and a half, but we're slowly making it. My coach's name is Tugboatin, so I went with Tugboat. Didn't go with his features. Decided on a 7-foot tall black gentleman, African American gentleman.
Oh,
not elegante, but he's 7 foot tall. I wanted a person that was very tall to give the
allure,
just lore, aura around them to kind of help the Knights stand up to adversity, like Notre Dame in that. So see what happens. But Tugboatin's trying to make his way through this. So,
is there any thought of buying Madden this year because of what you can do to bring it over to Madden?
The thought passed my mind with my Road to Glory character, for sure. Because I'm like, man, this would be really great to pick up this kid in Madden, get him drafted and all that. But at the end of the day, I'm now also in my own zone of, well, you didn't buy the package. I got your Madden for free, so why the hell would you buy it now?
Yeah,
because it's going to be worth more money, or it's going to be more expensive. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to buy Madden because I think I'm still in the boat of college football is going to carry me through, and if I need a Madden kick, I'll play last year's game.
Yep. I don't suspect myself buying a game. Maybe March when I see what MLB does this year.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what MLB The Show is going to put out there. But until then,
I'm good.
Good. Even the wrestling game's not going to entice me.
Yeah, I know. There's 2 DLCs that I haven't even downloaded yet.
I haven't downloaded Pat's. I think I downloaded whatever the last one was before. The ECW pack was the last one, right? So I think I downloaded that one.
No, I thought Pat's was out already.
Pat's is out. I haven't downloaded Pat. I'm saying I haven't downloaded Pat's, but the ECW one was before that, so I got it. But
okay.
Yeah.
I know I don't have Pat's, and I don't know if I have Punks. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I got Punks just so I had Punk.
Yeah. All right, you guys want wrestling? We'll get some hot topics before we jump over into SummerSlam. Do you have any hot topics? We're gonna break stuff down in general, essentially, because this is a catch-up show that you guys all know. So we'll talk about a lot of stuff over the last couple weeks that, we played football for a week, so we had that special. We didn't have a show because we went on vacation. Ryan and I were here last week, so we have a lot to kind of divulge and kind of touch on and everything, but anything this week that you're like, oh shit.
I'm trying to find my note because I lost. I did have something, but now I can't remember what the fuck it was. Do you have something right off the top of your head?
I don't have any hot topics.
Oh, shit. Well,
because I knew this section would be long on my end.
Yeah, this is going to be long. I can't remember what I had in ours, but I think I'm ready to just talk about wrestling in general for the past couple weeks. Let's just do it. Let's do it.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
And welcome back to Can Crushers, folks. You can tell we're jucking and jiving. That's really not real, but we are so happy to be back for a real essential episode. I got smiles across my face. Jenks is back here just fucking pounding beers like he's still on vacation. Johnny on the spot right there.
Played me right into that one.
What the hell is that? I see it's an orange can.
Yeah, it's called National Bohemian Boing Boing Gone. So
goes on vacation and he gets all these cool beers that I'll never see.
But last time was Dogfish Head. I'll say for you.
No, I don't mean from you.
Yeah, I know, I get it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But the Dogfish Head was Mandarin and Mango Crush, which was pretty good. It was 5 out of
good.
It was a five beer out of a 6-pack. This one's lighter. This one's not bad. It's your basic Pilsner, you're not Miller Lite, but like a Miller, just kind of
maybe like a Blue Moon, a little bit,
a little bit Blue Moon, like a Labatt Blue type.
Okay,
not as heavy. Only 4.5 on the alcohol scale, so it's not bad.
Nice. Again, I'm drinking water tonight. Jenks, I've found, and I know these have been out there for a while, but again, there were so many different flavors at the new grocery store that I went to. Key lime sparkling water. It tastes just like a key lime pie. There will be a case of this at my house next time. We just did samples. This go around. But we both were like, this one, he took a little nip, and I'm like, all right, that's enough. You have to go play video games. You can't drink key lime water all night because it'll go to your head. No, I'm kidding. But this is really good. So, yeah. It's carbonated. I know everybody's going to be like, Mark, you're off carbonation. Beer's carbonated too, folks. I'm more talking about pop when I'm not doing carbonation.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But I still drink Dubby. I really do.
Yeah.
Because Dubby gets me going in the morning. 2 scoops, shake the shit out of it. My 2 favorite, Callow Cream or Beach and Peach.
Yeah. You need it to get through the day.
Yeah.
Waking up that early in the morning, trying to get to the end of the day, it's tough. So you need it. You need that Dubby.
Yeah. Make sure you guys go check them out. We have a promo code for you.
It's Can Crushers. You guys know that. Save yourself 10% on it. So get yourself some Dubby. Get yourself a starter pack. Give it a shot. Yeah,
you get a couple different flavors in the starter pack, and then you get the shaker that you need as well. So check out Dubby and use Can Crushers to save yourself 10%. no crash, no cash. I get the cat. No crash, no calories, no carbonation. It's really awesome. But all right, enough about that because Prime's not sponsoring us yet. We do need to get to SummerSlam, Jenks.
We do.
We do need to get to SummerSlam. Spoil it right off the bat. I am still the number one contender, or the Money in the Bank, as we've dubbed it now, that I will be able to cash in on you. There for a hot second, I thought Ryan was going to pull away with it. And I'm like, oh shit. What happens if Ryan cashes in it all in or all out or bash at the battle brawl?
Bash in Berlin.
What happened if the title went over to our friends at the Final Count?
That would be, it would almost be, I think, WCW taking a WWF title at this point.
It's not going to happen. So
it's not going to happen. You didn't stay number one contender. You didn't stay in the lead.
Yeah.
So I only have to worry about you shooting after me, trying to shoot your shot on my title right now.
I'm back, Jenks. By the way, I'm ready to go.
All right.
SummerSlam. Jenks, first and foremost, I love the show. We'll give it the rating. I love the show. Why the hell did they have a 3-hour pre-show? But didn't watch it, by the way.
Neither did I. I don't know why they had a 3-hour pre-show. And to that point, if you have a 3-hour pre-show, why wasn't the tag team title defended on it? You know, why weren't some of these matches that are like really big?
Both tag titles. Both
tag titles. Yeah. Why were they not on the shows?
Have an NXT match on it.
Exactly. Showcase Trick. Showcase whoever. Get them on the show. 3 hours is obnoxious for SummerSlam.
For any
show, but SummerSlam in particular is just obnoxious.
Yeah. What did you think about Cleveland in a whole having it?
I liked it.
I don't know if the stadium was actually full though.
It was not full. There was definitely some seats there were seats tarped off, things of that nature, but I think it was cool. It was cool that Cleveland had it. It made it feel, and this might be just me, but it made it feel like a different type of atmosphere to it. And I don't know why. It may be the way Brown Stadium's set up, that it kind of provided like a more different, more enclosed atmosphere to it, where it wasn't truly like a normal sports venue, but it also wasn't like a normal stadium where you lose the sound out of it. A lot of it still stayed down.
Football stadiums are built to stay down.
They're built to stay down. It captured everything perfectly. I like Cleveland Brown Stadium despite the fact that they're getting a new dome at some point. Not on the lakefront, but that's a different story.
That's been the coldest football game I ever was at, by the way. Years ago, went to see Steelers-Browns, and we were over by the Jumbotron. The wrong side to be on if you're going to a football game, by the way. Because that is the way the wind comes right from the lake.
Yep.
Speaking of which, did you see that there's an alligator in Lake Erie?
I did see that, yeah. Right in my neck of the woods. So I don't know how this alligator got in fucking Lake Erie. And I don't know what the hell they're doing, but apparently somebody flushed him down the toilet. Now he's in the middle of Lake Erie.
That's
awesome. Just hanging out. I hope they get him because I don't want him to die out there because he will die if he's out there for the wintertime. But it was awesome. Going back to your Browns Stadium comment, coldest game I've been to was a Browns game. It was Browns and Bucks. But it was, our seats were blocked the wind from the lake. So when you were outside the stadium, it felt 30 degrees outside. You get inside the stadium, it felt 60, 65. Because the sun was beating down, it was 1 o'clock, it was nosebleed section, you just felt like you were in a heat wave. You get outside night and day. It was ridiculous how well the state where we were at blocked that wind coming off the lake.
So jealous.
So nice.
We did not get that. We got it cold on the outside, cold on the inside, in the middle of the mist. We were like gorillas, essentially. Nonetheless. Horrible pun. Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan starts off the show, and was everything that I wanted.
I have to gush a little bit because I got excited. Did you hear the 90s title music play? Like when Rhea was walking through the backstage area before she got the Dom, where it was the dun 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 dun. I was jacked at that point. I'm like, Lord Almighty, let's go. It injected into my veins, brought me back to nostalgia. The walk to the ring with her and Dom, all things considered now, you see little nuances in that, but it was perfect. Just that part of it was great.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The match itself was a good match. It was, yeah, everybody knows, especially after having a Raw on Monday, and we'll get there. But it was a more physical, non-physical match. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than I expected from these two, that they just had a match. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes the sequel isn't as good.
Right.
This had enough storytelling in it that I didn't care if they wrestled, you know?
Yep. There was enough around it that whatever happened in the match is what it is, because the story was carrying this match. But it just worked out that they had probably great chemistry in the ring, and it still was a fantastic match because they were hitting the spots perfectly with it. But...
And then Dom with the chair. Once the chair came into play, I know Michael Cole and the guys have to kind of, he's doing it to save Rhea.
Yeah. You knew it.
Perfect fucking spot to end it, and then he leaves and kisses her. I love these two. It took me until Dom was playing with Liv, I was like, I respect them. Now they're a power couple.
Yeah. They now have all the chips on their side, essentially. It was that all through the night, it was a master game of chess that was being played. It was coming in a checkmate.
Yeah.
They've been playing chess all summer long, and now the checkmate pieces were falling between this and later in the night. Chef's kiss on the storytelling in this. Patman. Some of the quotes in this match were top tier. Fucking the piece of trash one, you don't leave piece of trash lying around with the flies come around.
Right.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
I'll tell you, I'm going to ruin it right now. This is probably one of the best SummerSlams in a hell of a long time.
I agree. Beginning to end. I don't think it missed.
Yeah. Are you happy Liv kept it and we got all this in?
I did, yes, because you and I at least, and our audience knows this, we've been clamoring at the bit for Judgment Day to implode. So the fact that this happened, Liv kept the title, pieces are starting to fall into place. I think it's finally exciting, and I'm happy about it. Finally.
We didn't know if Judgment Day was done or a new Judgment Day was coming. It was left on that lingering. I suspected after Saturday, everybody went their own way.
Yeah. Which traditionally is what happens.
More on that
later. It just implodes, yeah. It just implodes, but... Yeah.
Yeah. The IC title match is the only one I didn't like. And it's not that I didn't like it. We knew it was coming. Remember, 4 weeks ago, I'm like, I don't want this to be quick. Sammy did a hell of a great job in that first match against Braun. It was quick.
To me, this is what should have happened at SummerSlam, or at Money in the Bank. This should have been the return match, and this should have been the longer, drawn-out match. At Money in the Bank, it should have been this quick, 5-minute, Braun destroys him, gets the title, we move on.
Yeah.
So I think they did it out of order. If they would have did it in order, I think it would have done way better to put the story over that they wanted to.
To me, Braun's back to, and everybody will say, no kidding, he's back to Goldberg now because it was that quick. He's built back up in my head to Money in the Bank, where I'm like, oh my God, Jenks, I apologize. If this is what you're doing with Braun, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
The next big match he gets, he's going on his streak.
Well, absolutely. He's on a streak until he gets a world title match at this point.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's going to stop him. They're not going to take the title off him, give it to somebody else. Da-da-da-da. He's on an undefeated streak right now.
Yeah.
But,
hey, Stephanie, go ahead. That's
well,
my
before you
next
say that, I was going to say, I made the note of ain't no way Stephanie's in that crowd for that long. But, did you see Judy Bagwell endorse that match?
Yeah, I didn't know if you was going to bring it up. That's right.
I wanted to. As soon as I saw it, like, that's great sign work right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Steph was there for a while. She was taking pictures with a lot of people. Like, there's other people in wrestling communities and everything that, you know, I don't know personally, but we talk on Facebook and everything. She was taking pictures with people.
Well, that's good.
She's really, Triple H said, and I didn't watch it, but I saw it in a clip, she's not with the company, so to speak, but she likes being there. We'll always, I think, associate Steph with it, no matter what, because she stepped away from her father in all of this. So Steph isn't a bad guy, right?
No.
To me, Steph's not a bad guy.
I don't think so. I think Steph got away from a very toxic situation with her father and with the company at that point. And I think she's happy just to come when she can. And when
she's a fan.
She's a fan. And, you know, stay at home with her kids when the time comes, for the most part. You're right, she can be a fan again, which is something she hasn't been able to do in 30 plus years of the industry.
All the time, though. She should start buying them.
She can't buy them from the green shirt guy or Brock Lesnar guy or anything like that. Can't be having her buy those seats. I would, if she could become those guys and just be in the front row somewhere, and it's like, where's Waldo every week?
Where's Stephanie?
I love it. Where's Stephanie every week?
Waving behind Michael Cole with a sign.
Oh, it's just like, yeah.
I was a coal miner one time.
Just random. If she had the Judy Bagwell endorsement sign, I want obscure signage.
It's a 12 out of 6.
Yeah. I don't even need wrestling at that point.
We get to the U.S. title match, Logan against L.A., and again, this was a gimme for me, essentially, because we kind of knew. Yeah. Logan's probably Royal Rumble again, is when we'll see him. I don't know if we needed all Logan's idiots here, though.
Listen, I know you're not in the rap game as much as I am, and I'm not in the rap game at all, but MGK is no longer a rap star. So the fact they announced him as that, and also he's showing up anywhere outside of anything. KO put you through a table 8 years ago for a reason. Right. Stay away. MGK. Nobody wants you. Nobody likes you around here. So the whole posse. Why is it every big pay-per-view he has a posse with him? Every pay-per-view match.
Because it was in his hometown. I understand this one, actually.
I get it, but at the same time, do you need a posse? Do your goons need to be a part of this?
No. Again, no. I have a lot of respect for Logan. I really do. Like, he's there and he wants to be there and he puts on a show.
That he was hitting a lot of shit that I didn't think anybody would be hitting. Like that fucking springboard moonsault. Yeah.
Point exactly.
I can't take that away from him. Listen, I'll shit on Logan for his personality and the douche-mobile and douche-hummer-mobile, whatever it is. In the ring, he is pretty damn good at it. And he's taking it with
props to both of them for it was more like a snap suplex off of the top rope.
Oh, yeah.
Normally you get up there, you have to get set up and everything, but LA ran up those freaking ropes and just brought his ass over before you could blink. And I'm like, that's trust. That's, if you want to say you practiced it or whatever, it was perfect timing. If they've never practiced it before, holy shit, you two should work another match. And I wrote that. I wouldn't mind if this match rekindled again at the Bash, and it'd be his last go around.
I completely agree. The dogs agree too. It's one of those
bombs home.
She's been home for at least 20 minutes, I think. But they have such good chemistry in the ring, on the microphone, and that they could carry an unlimited series between the two. Yeah. Really, they could. They could do months on end, and I don't think we'd ever get bored with the matches they produce, the promos they cut, anything of that nature. And fucking Logan Paul's got an industrial engineering degree, apparently. So what?
When did he get this?
I don't know. They announced it during the show. I didn't look into it. I'm like, what the fuck? He's had time to do this? Is this what? But apparently he's a smart cookie. So Phoenix, they know. It has to be University of Phoenix. There's no other DeVry University out there. But yeah, man, I just.
There was a commercial in my head. School Connections, I think. You know what I'm talking about. That girl was sat there and I digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. I think, but to get back to my point, they're so damn smart that they know they can work endlessly. And it would be different every time. The match would be different. Such good stuff. Such good shit.
And that's just Logan that we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is probably one of my favorite matches from LA Knight since NWA Eli Drake. He hit everything.
He's never been a fan. You've never been a fan of his.
Nope. I'm in. Because I know what he's going to bring to that title. I know what he's going to be able to do on the mic with that title. You know how I love the story, the talking. But his wrestling was good to great in this again.
See, that begs the question here. Are you going to buy a shirt of his? Because if so, you should use our affiliate code. That's in our show notes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sometimes I get a discount, sometimes you don't.
No, yeah. I'm just click on the link and see what comes out of it. It might be that time to put that Logan or that LA Knight T-shirt in the drawer, or hang it up, whatever you want to do.
Because I'm wearing my
wearing
my good shirt tonight.
Wearing a good shirt. You're wearing the Funko Pop Roman shirt tonight. So
you're right. Maybe I should use our affiliate code that's in the show notes for you guys.
Put it right next to those crowd-made shirts that we have out on the site.
And right next to the collar and elbow ones, where you can absolutely tease and all the cool stuff that the Al Snow and the Hooligans have.
10% off using Cane Crushers. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Your whole wardrobe could be filled at that point.
My whole wardrobe is wrestling or baseball, Jenks. You know that.
Exactly. You fill it out more. You move stuff. If you're like me, you move stuff into the cutoff zone, and then you have T-shirts up for the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
Imagine that.
I want to know if we're going to get sponsored by Manscaped, though. Would you shave your belly for the YouTube? Like Otis?
Yes. I wouldn't be as good at it as Otis, but I would do it for the...
I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Are we getting set up for Netflix, by the way?
100%. This shit's already on the rails for Netflix. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Like... I think we're going to be pushing, like, I know everybody's like, it's Netflix, you can push limits, but I think we're going to be pushing limits on Netflix.
I think we have to do prop bets during the Crushies, before the first Netflix show. Who's going to drop the first fuck? Who's going to, because it's not going to be.
Oh, it's going to be quick.
It's going to be something quick.
Yeah. I'm excited for Netflix, by the way. Because I'm a child, and I love horrible porn humor and vulgarity. Not that you guys didn't know that we didn't like vulgarity. Jeez.
We're clean on this show.
Nia Bailey. This was a lot of Bailey, and I loved it. But I didn't love it. But, clearly we both said a long time ago, we knew this was going to be Nia. But I thought, oh man, oh man, is it time already? Are they going to do this? And is this going to be Nia's battle with Tiffy and Bayley's going to get shifted?
I literally wrote, damn it, Tiffy, because I thought at one point, I thought she was cashing in.
Yep.
I thought it was going to happen. Turned out to be more of a distraction than anything. But they at least gave Bayley the look, the strength in defeat. Excuse me, I'm losing my mind over here. The power bomb, the fucking elbows, whatever you want, the feats of strength that Bayley was throwing out there left and right. She was on pace, but to your point, Tiffy time came, and now it's a clock, because I think Tiffy's cashing in on Nia. So either Nia's keeping this for a long-ass period of time, or Tiffy's cashing in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think Nia is definitely, and people may hate this that love Nia. Nia's clearly transition.
Yeah.
Because I think a Tiffy Bayley thing could be money down the line, where, no disrespect to either, I don't think Tiffy Nia is money.
No.
It is money for Tiffy to get the big win. And you can always rekindle that again for, your one-off shows.
Yeah.
But I think Tiffy Bayley, to keep her away from Bayley, that's why she didn't cash in on Bayley. Because something happened this week, and I'll bring it up during this, with Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Do we get somebody riding into the sunset? Like, listen, we all know she'll pop back up sometime. But is it full contract?
I don't think so. She basically said, sayonara. It's been fun.
She didn't want the glitz and the glamour of this is it. It was just like a tweet. It was a hell of a career with everything out there. A cool little mock video.
It was right after the A&E special. She said it. She's like, it's over. Respect her for that. We're going to see her pop up. I don't think it's going to be for a few years now. Yeah. I do think she's going to enjoy parenthood.
I don't think we get Rebecca Quinn either. No.
We get Rebecca Quinn in real life, but we will not get her in a ring. Yeah.
It's Becky Lynch in a couple of years, making a surprise.
Yep.
So now there's only 2 horsewomen left as of right now. More to come on this in a couple of months, probably. But Charlotte's not there. Bayley, I'm thinking Bayley is your Rumble match for Tiffy.
Yeah.
And the other queen is the main event, not main event, but it's a WrestleMania match.
WrestleMania, yeah. 100%.
Then the horsewomen are gone. Not gone, but
they've moved on.
Yeah, they're the legends then. The transition is now.
Transition's been happening for a couple of years. I mean, Bayley just got her she got what she needed. She got her career. She got the Rumble. She got the Mania win. She's caught up to the other horsewomen. Now she's the veteran to help get people over. But you're right.
And Charlotte's a part-timer.
Charlotte's a part-timer. It's been 9 years, but it's official that we have shifted away from the horsewomen on the main roster.
Yeah. It's okay. We're not down. We're not Debbie Downer.
We're not. It's one of those natural things. It's been 9 years. It's time to move on to the new class, the new blood. Nia is not the new blood. Nia is there to be a force for the new blood to fight against. And that's why we think she's going to be a transitional champion. But your new blood is Tiffy. Your new blood is Cora Jade, is Roxanne, is all of these women that are just coming out, Lyra, it's all of these women that are just coming out of NXT. That's your new blood. Everybody on the main women's roster right now, outside of Tiffy and Lyra, is truly the gap, the bridge, is the bridge to that new generation coming up and in.
Yep, I agree. Thus making me wonder, like, Naomi there, because the family's there. She'll get a couple wins, she'll take some losses. I wonder, speculation, maybe Carmella isn't back. And I know people are not as huge as I am on Carmella, but maybe she's officially, she had some issues after her pregnancy, but there's not even talks that I've heard or dug into anything.
No.
Maybe she just steps aside and she'll get her, one off of a return at a Rumble or something, and then see you later again.
Yep.
They're doing it good, though. They really are. I did like the match, though. I loved everything about it, as we said, Nia and Bayley. And I think it's good.
I did too. I will say this. There's a lot of good callbacks that came up, and they were doing a really good job of selling the history of these women. Yeah, I know they've been doing it in promos leading up to it, but during the match, a lot of good things coming out of that, and a lot of good callbacks and promos, and them making sure that they were covering all the bases with it to really bring levity to the Women's World Championship, which is something you don't see very often.
You don't.
It usually gets forgotten, or they don't do that as much, so that was good to see.
Drew and Punk with Seth as referee.
Oh.
Holy Jane Fonda bedazzled was my first note.
The lace with white stripes was a touch, and Kimberly approved, by the way.
Of course you did.
She was like, I don't hate it. I'm like, all right.
Before the match starts, Drew says, "Get that bitch out here, ring the bell. It's just going to be a 3 count." I didn't know where we were going in this match. Like, so much shit happened in this match. I was pissed that they were singing fucking Rollins' song during a match that he was only a referee in. Then Punk worries about that goddamn bracelet and Claymores, and Seth doesn't want to count, but he counts, and he's knocked out, and this was so much in this match that I'm like, I picked Punk. I want Drew to win. No, I want Punk to win. I don't care who wins. This is just starting WrestleMania for 2 people anyway. But wait, is it going to start WrestleMania? Is this going to be a 3-way? This match, I just sat back then. After 5, and that's the first 5 minutes of the goddamn match.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mark, stop your brain and do something, because this is something special that was going on. As much as I hated the Rollins stuff involved in it and this and that other thing, this was, it's not going to make top 3. Yeah. But for me, just because of the story, it's top 5 of the year so far.
I agree. I love the Rollins stuff, though, because I think it added way too much to this match. It added so much more to this match. I get where you're at, but I'm like, Bad Blood's going to have a Hell in a Cell. So my mindset coming into it is, I'm just enjoying whatever this shit show is going to be, and I meant that in the most endearing terms of shit show. Whatever happens in this match. I just want to watch it, see what unfolds. Because if I would have not been on a beach somewhere, I would have called in and said, 97 ending. This is going to be the 97 ending. Rollins is going to hit Punk with a chair. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3. He's going to hate it. Sure enough, what they do in the first 10 minutes, they did the whole fucking 97 ending. He stopped short of hitting Punk. And I was lost my shit. I was like, fantastic. That's not part of this anymore. Let's go. And I love that Seth was resting on the top rope. He was getting a crowd to sing to his song. He was tying his fucking shoe. The rep cam got thrown out of the ring because he was done with it because the battery pack fell off.
I hated it, but I loved it.
Yeah.
It pissed me off.
It pissed me off in an endearing way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those things where it was like, okay, They built it up so well. And then when the finish came, I was like, I don't want this to end.
Yeah.
I don't want this to end but I also said, why is CM Punk so distracted by this fucking bracelet? I get there's a sentimental feeling to it, but at the same time, it's like, bro, he just picked it up off the mat.
Right. All referees clean out rings. There's Orange Cassidy, sunglasses go in the pocket. If something a bracelet, Ultimate Warrior shit was picked up and put in the pocket. Bailey stuff picked up, put in the pocket.
They lose a brace, they lose something that gets picked up. Rhea was losing belts and things off of her gear. They were picking it up and moving it as soon as it fell off. Why? It's because it was Seth that he got so focused on it.
Yep.
You're a veteran. Act like one. Come on, man. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but act like a fucking veteran. But, so my other thought was, I have to ask you this, because it came up. Did you see the girl that made the bracelet for him jokingly asked her?
I was waiting.
She was like, when do I get my cut?
His bracelet has been all over TV. Good for her.
Good for her. But if you're one of the assholes that are yelling at her and telling her she's only looking for money and all that, go pound salt. Go float up a fucking creek. Leave her alone.
This girl should have... We're predicting Punk and Seth at WrestleMania already. We're making those.
Yeah.
That's the payoff of the bracelet thing. It's going to... The bracelet is now turned into the Undertaker urn. I said that to the English professor because I wasn't bothering you on vacation. So we were texting during this. I said, holy shit, the bracelet's now the urn. He's like, fuck, it is.
Yeah.
So the bracelet's going to go, because Drew has it yet, it's going to make its way to Seth. And then Punk will only get this fucking bracelet back at WrestleMania.
Yeah, like Hell in a Cell. I think it's Hell in a Cell Bad Blood, Drew and Punk. Maybe Punk gets it for a hot second. After Hell in a Cell, he's beaten Drew, whatever. That's when Seth comes back from whatever he's on now. We'll talk about. That's when Seth comes back, and then he steals the bracelet from Punk at that point, and then we're starting this whole fucking circle over again.
Yeah. See? Bailey knows.
Bailey knows.
I love the match. We can't do justice of how good this match was with the story. Again, SummerSlam was so built around storylines. That's why it was so good.
Yep.
Every match had a long storyline engulfed into it.
Long and legitimate storyline. Right. There's so many times in the past we've had these horrid stories, half-assed stories. Finally, we have continuity, we have build-up, we have all of these little things start coming into place and falling into place. SummerSlam was over the top for it.
Last week I said, man, this sucks. It's all singles matches. During the show, I forgot that it was all singles matches. And I didn't care that it was all singles matches because of what they did. We get to Damian Gunther. If the writing wasn't on the wall in match 1, the writing hit you in the fucking face in this match.
Oh, yeah.
Again, though, I was like, Gunther's not winning. He'll win the match, but he's not going to win the title because I thought Finn was just going to come in and fucking waylay him and then...
Yeah.
Either over at the Castle or Bad Blood, that's when Priest would lose it, and then boom, Gunther would then win it from Finn down the line.
Yeah.
That's going through my head. I'm like, no, he's definitely losing it tonight. Da-da-da-da. I didn't see the foot on the rope thing. Physically I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. The turn in the middle of the match, I was like, you motherfuckers. Again, a great match. This was two big men fucking going at it.
Two big men, and Priest dominated a lot of this match.
Gunther was bleeding. It was a chop, but he was bleeding 3 minutes into the match.
Yeah. Damian was coming in hot. He was coming in strong. He brought it. And I think I talked about this last month where I wasn't sure if I was sold on Gunther Damian as a legitimate match. I'm eating crow on the beach because it's not. Because Damien brought it.
Did you watch this on your phone, by the way?
I did not, no. I watched this on the big screen when I came back. But it was one of those things where I was sitting there. There was times where I'm just thinking, man, I was on the beach like, fuck, what if Dom does this? What if Finn turns? He's got nothing else to do. My mind is clear.
Right.
And there was times where I was just playing in the sand, just living life. And wishing I had one of those remote control backhoes that can just dig up sand for you. But it happened, and I even brought it up. I said, what do you think the delivery cost would be to get it here by Amazon? But
honeymoon, then.
That's true. I hope that's the wedding gift she gets me for this. And I say that with her in the next room, hopefully listening, is maybe that'll be my wedding gift. Anyways. But you have you think about that stuff, and for me, it was like, until I see it play out, I can't buy Gunther and Priest. And then I was eating crow the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, fuck, it's hard hitting. He's dominating Gunther. He's throwing Gunther across the ring with Falcon arrows and shit. And then that fucking turn. And it wasn't the leg on the rope. It was the head down, evil stance that he had, and when he turned around, he was Prince Devitt again. He was the demon pulling it down.
At Bad Blood. Listen, this is all Bad Blood's going to be something special, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Nothing against Bash.
Yeah.
We're going to get, that's in 3 weeks, we're going to get some stuff at Bash, which is good. I think Bad Blood's going to be...
It's going to be something else.
I think we get the demon back at Bad Blood.
So I think we could get the demon back at Bad Blood, or they are going to draw this out until Mania, and we get the demon back at Mania. Because again, Kings of Long Storytelling, Finn's going to duck Damien as much as possible. Yeah. And I don't think they meet until Mania at this point.
You got to go through...
You got to go through JD. You got to go through Carlitos, even though he's just sitting around spitting apples at this point. You got to go through Dirty Dom at some point. Which, to that point, I meant to bring this up in that. Rhea versus Dom is happening at some point, and I think it's on Netflix.
Oh,
the first episode of Netflix. Because it's Rhea and Liv or whatever, they can come at each other. She has to get revenge on Dom. And I've said this for a long time. If there's one woman that can make the Intercontinental title push and hang with the men, it's Rhea. And that's one way to interject it is by having her and Dom face off.
Netflix, great point, by the way, and we'll stick with this for a hot second. Netflix is where WWE accepts intergender matches.
Yes.
Opens up complete storyline. By the way, be prepared. I'm drinking water. Be prepared for a major roster shakeup with Netflix. No way Roman's not on Netflix.
I agree. They're not putting Roman back on USA Network.
No. And a lot of other people. Punk. Like, USA Network is going to be TBS.
Yeah.
For WWE.
Yep. SmackDown's going back to the land of irrelevancy.
Yeah. And then later, they've been on Sci-Fi. They're going to be somewhere else in the year, too. Like, there's a couple months where the USA Network contract for Raw is done. Mm-hmm. So they're finding people to cover until Netflix, essentially.
Yeah.
So, I actually really like the spot with Miz, R-Truth, A-Town Down. During the spot, I was like, oh, Jesus, God. I went back and watched it again because that's what I am. I'm fucking jealous of Jelly Roll. He had the time of his life.
He had the time of his life and the best chokeslam I've seen in about 10 years. And it's all because of Austin Theory posting up. I know it is.
Yeah.
But goddamn, I was jealous of him too. I mean,
his chair shots were horseshit.
Oh yeah, they were great.
But his
choke slam was on point.
It covered everything.
Yeah, but I was still feeling too. Also, I've never heard Jelly Roll sing before, so I gotta give him a shout out. No, I heard him a little bit on. He has this collab with Eminem. It was good, but like the first time I actually heard a song by Jelly Roll was at SummerSlam.
Liar, which
is fantastic.
Yeah,
I was impressed. I'm gonna get on the Jelly Roll bandwagon here at some point, but
look at you.
He's good. I get out there. Let's put it out, but yeah, man, he's living a dream. All his fat boy dreams at this point.
And then we get to the main event. Bloodline rolls, and I'm fucking wearing the shirt for a reason. Max, I said, okay, it's the main event, and I shit you not. I said, Max, I think Roman's coming back, and he watched the whole match with me. I made him put his paw up when Roman came out. Are we excited that Roman's good? We don't know if Roman's good. What did he do to be good? He was just sick of stuff. Is he going to be? We're going to find out, or you guys found out last night, essentially. This was good. There was no hate in it at all. Because we all knew. Mm-hmm. It was, how were we getting there?
Yeah.
We got there the right way. Like, God damn it, WWE is kicking everybody's ass right now.
WWE's flying on all cylinders. This is what happens when you get the wrestling and the storylines to marry up perfectly. The WWE title match went as expected until Roman came out. Actually, right. I'll take that back. Until Jacob Fatu got injured, which then 3 minutes later, we understand why he was injured. Because Roman came out.
I really do think he's injured, though.
I don't know. See, now I'm in the space of this is a work for he's going to walk around like he's injured for 4 to 6 weeks. Because I think he is legit. I don't know if he's legitimately injured or they needed to take him out of the picture so that Roman could come out and take out Solo without interference. I think they're trying to keep Jacob separated from Roman, either because A, they needed Roman to take out Solo without anybody interfering with it, or B, Jacob's a double agent, actually, and he's working for Roman.
I think we've both said that, right?
We have said that in the past. So it's one of two options here. Both options, he was faking an injury to get in, to progress the story somehow, some way.
Yeah. But it was perfect.
It was
really no interaction with Cody. You know, a glance, but nothing like, he didn't do anything for Cody. Realize this. Cody's still, because I'm going to spin this now. Cody's still engulfed into the bloodline. Right? But Cody's going to be away from the bloodline for the next 2 pay-per-views.
At least.
Yeah, at least. What do we do with Cody then? Do we get Shinsuke back again? Do we get, like, nothing? I love Cody Rhodes. He's tattooed on my body. I love the Rhodes family. When he's not with the bloodline in the storyline, engulfed into it, I don't like anything Cody's doing. So I think he's going to be a rough couple months with Cody again of like, until it's rekindled once again that wherever we're going with this.
The tough thing is Cody and Roman are not crossing paths until probably after Mania. Although I did have the theory also in my head, maybe they are. Maybe they're going for 3 in a row.
Maybe they are. But I also say, who really is the 4th member? If The Rock does slowly come back, I don't see The Rock in War Games, right? Do you see The Rock in War Games?
No.
War Games.
At War Games, yes. In War Games, no. But I do, to your point, think he's involved in some capacity because how did Solo get the I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of it, but the beads of relevancy, basically. The beads of the head of the table.
Right.
How did he get hold of that? Because that's only based on, in the lore they put out, the senior members of the tribe hold those. Your heads of the tables, your board of directors, if you will, your senior members of your tribe. Solo had to get them from somewhere.
Right.
And so when Paul didn't acknowledge them, obviously Paul got taken out, but it's leading to the Rock's reveal. To your point, who's number 4? Is it a Hikuleo? Is it this guy? Who else from the family can they bring in to make this work for a 4-on-4 match?
There's Zillow Fatu out there too, by the way.
Zillow is still out there. Yeah, exactly. So these guys are out there for picking, but who are they going to pull the plug on? Who are they going to pull into this match? Is it even a fucking War Games match at this point?
I know. We have enough time. I'll wait on that because I'll bring it up when we talk about it on Raw. In all, what do you rate SummerSlam?
5.5 out of 6.
That's exactly where I was. Exactly where I was. Oh, that's why I interrupted you. 5.5.
Yeah. Everything clicked. Everything worked. I think there was a couple things that could have just been so much better. The Braun
Sammy match is probably what brought around a 0.5 point for me, honestly.
I think if they flip those with the Money in the Bank one, you're in perfect shape.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Bring it back to Cleveland again. We both liked the atmosphere. It was one of the better SummerSlams in a hell of a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you last week again, I'll eat crow on this, saying, man, it was all singles matches. You did have 3 fucking extra hours that you could have had something else on it, but
yep.
I digress on that. All right, Jenks, now we'll transition over to Raw and just take everything that we have. We'll stick and stay with the Bloodline for so.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some stuff still happening here with the Bloodline, and I want to bring up which my point is. Sammy and Jay are now best of friends again. Jay says, hey, man, you got your shot next week, yada, yada, yada. Yes, you eat it up. You can be 2-time champs because we can get back around. Is Sammy the 4th member that Roman gets? Because he does end up trusting him before we get a Hikuleo or before we get a Zillow or somebody like that.
I think it might end up being Sammy.
Where I'm thinking.
He did trust him at one point. Jay and him are buddies now. If they enlist Jay, Sammy's right there.
Yeah.
Roman, before the argument comes into play, Roman has trusted Seth after Seth turned his back on him. Maybe it's a more tense trust, but they've established that lore that Roman has trusted Seth.
Yeah. We got some months. Pick one. What do you want to go with now?
Let's go. The low-hanging fruit's Judgment Day, but I'm not going to go there. Let's go Randy and Gunther. Because the first opponent you hit for Gunther is Randy fucking Orton. And we address the shoulder not being down.
Yeah.
In King of the Ring. Love it.
I love all of this.
I love it all. We're revisiting a great match, and we're correcting a wrong in the past that had occurred.
And it will correct it, by the way.
It will correct it,
I'll make this prediction right now. Gunther's
Randy's not
walking
winning.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gunther's winning this.
But be prepared. This is going to be a classic. They reference fucking Flair and Steamboat, and I think it was apropos.
Yeah. They were on the cusp of it before, but now they're going to really shine in this match.
Randy hits an RKO. Gunther pops back up.
or it's going to be the closest to .99999 you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. That's the main event, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. I don't care.
There's no way. Nothing else is taking that.
Because Drew's involved with something else. If you want to play the hometown crowd aspect of this, this is your main event.
Yeah.
This is 100%. Your main event. So, let me spin it then. Was the King of the Ring meant to end that way? Because they knew this was going to be the main event over at Bash?
Quite possibly, yes.
Or it's a hell of a pickup. They just corrected perfectly.
They can take and run with. Because Randy was such a legend that if he gets interjected as his first opponent, none of us are going to bat an eye.
Yeah. Do I want to get hate on me right now?
You're going to get it at some point, it seems like, so why not now?
Is the Wyatt Thick done already?
I will say this. I'm glad they had their first match. They leaned way too much into Bray Wyatt. The announcers did.
Yeah.
And I get they pointed and all of that. It was a special moment. But I need them to be their own entity at this point and not a tribute band.
You know what ruined it for me?
What?
We know who everybody is. We do. We also knew that Brutus Beefcake was everybody that he was.
Yeah.
But we just called him the person that he was at that moment.
Yeah.
I didn't need Cole to say Huskus the Pig is played by Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy.
We know who they are. That took a little bit of Huskus in the scare in everybody, Mercy and all that away from them by reminding us this is Loomis that didn't really do anything for a while. Rowan's been cut by us 3 times, and you might not even remember the other guy. Like, it kind of really, I'm like, fuck, why don't you just call Uncle Howdy then Taylor? Just outright just say, hey, that's Taylor. We know this.
Yeah.
This faction was built around some tribute, but of a lot of allure, of, suspicions. What are they going to do? Yeah, that's Loomis.
My thought is, I'm agreeing with your sentiment a lot. We're not getting their lore or getting them at full creative capacity until Netflix. And I keep going back to Netflix and saying it's going to happen there, it's going to happen there. Because we talked about it the first night they debuted. People were shot. It looked like a fucking graveyard. Things were ransacked. It was so ominous. The aura was there. It was just so much happening. And then they've leaned heavily into Bray and everything going with Bray. I think they recognize right off the bat, people are going to be emotional. People are going to remember Bray. We'll let you eat this up right now and enjoy these moments. So when the time comes that you can put your creative hat on and really fuck people up with what shit you can do, this will be out of the system.
I hope so.
I think my thought is right now, this is to get it all out of the system until it's done.
Somebody on Netflix.
Exactly. The nostalgia act will happen and the tribute band will happen for the next month or so, couple months, few months. And then it's going to be as simple as a light switch.
I hope. I'm holding you to that. I did say, though, since we're just naming names, Nikki's the fucking star of the entrance. I mean, it's just an entrance. And I know that's a lot of people's gimmicks that are the entrance. You take her out of the entrance of the things that she does. It's cool, but she's unfucking believable.
Nikki's the perfect horror movie player in all of this right now. Makes me kind of wish she was the one Bray took over Alexa way back when. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Kurt Gable is on his way.
No, he's on
reference. They said you suck the whole match at him. By the way, I love American Made. I do love him.
American Made's a good name. Yeah.
Yeah. But the crowd caught on in Baltimore right off the bat and started, you suck. You suck. I mean, it wasn't hitting the song wasn't there, but Gable's on his way to Kurt Gable or Chad Angle or whatever, however you want to engulf him.
He's 100%. Yeah.
Which means I don't want him with American Made for that long.
I'll take it because then it's more of America's, was the world greatest tag team or whatever it was, with Haas and Benjamin. I think that'll work perfect. The Team Angle, Team Chad, if you will. I'm good with it because then it also gives the Creed brothers something to be about instead of just a random duo that's now on WWE TV that we haven't seen for months on end.
Months again. I know.
Yeah.
Ivy's popping around every once in a while, but then she leaves again. Like, she's not with them anymore, right?
I don't think so, but maybe she is. Because she was talking to Maxine, and then Chad showed up, and now it's a whole thing. So, maybe.
What's your next one?
Let's go Judgment Day, because let's get this on. Let's get this on right now, because the promo at the beginning, Priest piss and vinegar, as he should be, and then Balor in the dark room calling back the world title match that Priest cost him. This has basically been in the works, and now all of a sudden we're the new Judgment Day, and everybody was against Rhea and Damian.
When they pulled the camera back and they were all there, this was my reference when we were talking to SummerSlam. I'm like, I didn't know if they were we thought Dom and Liv were going to be together. JD and Finn are tag team champions. Carlito's in that company. Yeah. They all could have been their friends, who they were really encapsulated with. It would have made sense. They put them back together. I'm like, whoa. This is the Judgment Day that I really like now. Like, okay, let's run with this for a little bit. I don't know if I want Priest and Rhea. For right now, they can hug because they have a common opponent. I don't want them together. They're two able-bodied superstars right now because SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw was more Punishment Martinez than Damian Priest. If we can get that thrown, I know you're not going to use Punishment Martinez because that's ROH. We can wrap that back around. There was a major change in my head from SummerSlam to Raw with Damian. I'm like, he just really fucking changed. It didn't change. You know what I mean? Just really had a big moment right there, losing and now going after the Judgment Day instead of being a leader, lackey, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. 100%. It kind of seemed like he came into his own. He finally found his comfort footing because he now has a very targeted people to attack at this point. I think him and Rhea are just a byproduct of, you're right, they have a common enemy at this point. It's the new Judgment Day. They're going to be acquaintances backstage. They'll high five and whatnot once this whole thing is done. But right now, they are going to be the Terror Twins that are ready to go after people. It's going to be temporary, but at the same time, it's going to happen for the remainder of the next couple of months.
Until, like you said, until Rhea destroys Dom on Netflix.
Exactly.
Be prepared. You're going to hear that for 6 months now about what they're going to do on Netflix, their first show.
Yeah. That first show is going to be... That's what
they're putting. Nothing against the next couple pay-per-views. That's where they're putting their money right now.
It's going to be that first show of Netflix, and that leads immediately into the Rumble.
Yeah.
War Games is on the pace to progress stories there, but their next major milestone will be Netflix, 2025.
By the way, both next pay-per-views that we cover are 1 o'clock once again, Lloyd.
I know.
I love them. The back.
I know.
I wasn't sure if Wembley for All In when we get to it on AEW. I wasn't sure if they were pulling a 1 o'clock or if we were going to be up later. I didn't remember. Did they do Wembley at 1 last year too?
Yeah, they did that afternoon.
Right?
Yeah. It was 1 o'clock. Yeah. Now remember, they do 2-hour pre-shows for these ones, so we have to remember to be on at 11 because last year they said an hour. Now you got me on a rant. They said an hour, and then it was fucking on for an hour before I got onto it. I was pissed. But anyways, I digress.
Last thing I want to bring up, and I think it is perfect that Seth Rollins is taken out by Reed.
Mm-hmm.
That eliminates, because there's no ending yet to what we're talking about with Punk and Drew.
Yeah.
It keeps Seth out of this.
Yep.
He's still involved in it. I don't think we see Seth for a little bit on TV, right?
I don't think so.
A couple weeks or so?
I'll say Bad Blood. I'll say October.
Yeah, that's when he gets his...
When
he had to have a colonoscopy Monday night. He had to have
everything. Well, he's got to have a lot of get checked out. 6 tsunamis is nothing to... is something to send you home with.
When I watched it, I went ape shit because we've been pushing for Bronson.
Yeah.
What does this do for Bronson? Does he sniff a shot at Gunther at one point? Oh yeah, I really think so. Does he win it? No, but Bronson really just pushed himself, and we've been waiting for this because he should have been there.
Agreed. He's going to end up being that monster heel that doesn't need a title, but is always around to cause the chaos.
Loved all of this. Do you have anything else?
I just want to say congratulations to Odyssey Jones for finally showing up to Monday Night Raw after being drafted last year and this year and the year before that. I don't think it's gonna. I hate the storyline that's gonna be. I hate the storyline that's gonna be around this. But congratulations to him.
One callback. I also marked out. You're dressed like a cowboy. I'll be your Huckabee. Get your ass in the ring.
Oh yeah, get your ass. I forgot about that. When he dropped that line, I was done. I was cracking up. I couldn't have cared less if they touched at that point.
And they didn't. Well worth it.
I looked at Kimberly and I said, I got to remember that line, and she just shook her head. She's
Does she understand it?
She does. I think she does, but she also thought it was the most ridiculous thing that could be said at that point in time.
Right, and it's perfect. Perfect. So Kaiser's kind of still back with Gunther. Like he was in and out. He was hurt, and but he's just going to be his
lackey,
Ricardo Rodriguez,
basically. At this
Mike
point.
Snell.
Basically.
All right. Do you want to do some stuff and then head to AEW?
Yeah, let's do some stuff and head to AEW. I can't talk now, so.
Like, hey, if you want to listen to us, we're available everywhere, right, Jenks?
Yeah. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podurama, where you can get discounts if you go on their site. Anywhere you can think of, we are there. Oh, even Spotify.
Even Spotify. Unbelievable.
I know, it's wild. But yeah, you can listen to us anywhere at any time, in any place. And, Mark, they can talk to us too. Yeah,
you can talk to us. You can reach out to us on email. It's cancrusher69@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X. Threads is still there, but I haven't checked it in weeks. Reach out to us there. Join the conversations that people post and, chat about this, that, or the other. You want to be on the show, you're a wrestler, anybody like that, reach out to us on a DM. We love the spotlights. Just to let you know, the spotlight this week, there was a scheduled spotlight. The travel issues in North Carolina with my guest who's trying to get back home. We had a time, delays here, there, and everything. We got it rescheduled, so she will be coming on I'm not going to tell you who, but she will be coming on. She feels bad that I said, listen, I understand the world is in a hurricane right now.
Right.
So the same travel issues that AEW had to get to the show at Winston-Salem, she had from kind of like an independent show to get home. So there's that. We tried a couple times. She's like, hold on, I think I'm going to be getting on the plane. This is really a shoot now. I think I'm going to be getting on the plane in an hour. I'm like, well, I'm not rushing you.
Yeah.
We were going to do it from the airport. No, never mind. And she's like, well, how long are we going to talk? This, that, and the other. I'm like, an hour or so. She's like, I could talk longer. I'm like, well, it's 9 o'clock at night and some people have to go to bed. She's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. Tried it the next day. The whole, like North Carolina was shit.
Oh, yeah.
For a while. And it's just, she's like, we can reschedule. I'm like, yes, we can. That's always available. So.
That's fair.
So she'll be back on. We have a couple scheduled this week to get them more in the hopper. But, yeah, life happens. That's why there was no spotlight this week.
Yeah, it happens, but we have them lined up, rescheduled, ready to go. So listen to us all on that. Contact us. And then they can also send in questions to us, too, if they wanted to, on our email, cancrusher69@gmail.com.
Because September is an Ask Can Crusher month.
It's time.
So get them in. We'll give you the date next week of when Ask Can Crushers is. We have to look at some logistics on our end. But Ask Can Crushers is let's just say a month away.
Yep. Get ready. You can call them in too if you want. You guys haven't used the phone line in a while, but
right.
It's collecting cobwebs and all that, but it's 814-299-6687. So call them in.
And we're going to tell you right now, because after Ask Can Crushers, we've come to this. Ask Can Crushers is going to be its own show. We're not going to talk about wrestling that week because last Ask Can Crushers was 3.5 hours long. It only covered wrestling for half an hour.
Yep.
So we will completely dedicate the whole thing to you. No NCAA, no video games. It's, hey, we're here. We're starting questions.
Yep.
Because they're amazing, first off. You guys bring up shit that we don't think about. And we want to give you guys the time to get more in and do the fun stuff. If it's a 3.5 hour show of just questions, we'll go 4. We'll go 5. It doesn't matter. We'll take the week of wrestling out of it because we get off topic every once in a while, which is unbelievable.
I can't imagine why. I mean, us going on tangents about random things.
Right. Like
wow.
that.
Never happens. Never happens.
All right, I'm taking a drink. We're going to come back with AEW here in a hot second.
Hey, this is Mariah May, the glamour, but you knew that. And you're listening to Can Crushers.
We are not the glamour, but we are the Can Crushers. Welcome back, everybody, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. It is now time for the All Elite section of this podcast episode. So, AEW time.
I'm glad you said the glamour because this is one, Jenks, that I kind of shake my shoulders at and say, again, she was on Can Crushers prior to Stardom, prior to anything else that she's doing now. We get the people. We get the people on Can Crushers. So it's always one, We had Britt Baker. We had Nikita Knight before she became the Hale. We understand the independent circuit, don't we?
You do. We have the market cornered. However you say that expression.
Corner market. We have a corner market. We have sausage.
Corner market, yeah. As you can tell, I've had 2 bevies and I'm on the 3rd, but it's normal. It's just cherry wheat. So.
By the way, during our break, which people are like, you guys went on a break? Yeah, 30 seconds. You guys know how that works. Went outside and it seems like it's all shifted. Like it's blue skies out there right now.
Well, that's a good thing.
You may not be getting anything anymore.
Well, let's hope that stays true for the rest of the night. But
I'm not going to knock on wood because I have 2 guests in the podcast room right now, and if I knock on wood, Hellfire and Brimstone will happen because I think somebody's knocking at the door.
I think I can do it without setting mine off. None of them went off, so we're good.
I have ears. One is passed out. Unless I say treat or pizza or something like that. The other one's ears peaked up a little bit, Maxie, but that's all right.
No, that's fair. So, All Elite. Or is it All American?
First, because I have a question, but go ahead.
Okay. Is it All Elite or All American? Should we start there?
We definitely need to start there. I really like the transition. I said this last week, but I'll say it to you. From the international title to the American title. And will it stay like that after MJF loses it in time? I don't know. But I think it should. Because of the separation. When I think of the Continental one that Okada has, that has not been defended in forever again now, to the international title, that's the same title for me. It's become the same title. I know it's two different titles. I love that they made it American. Not because, not any of it, but there's a separation. Continental and international were just blended too much for me.
Well, it's like the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title. There's a clear separation in the mid. I get it, because it's a clear separation in the mid-card titles. I think this only lasts as long as MJF's champion, and I don't know if he's champion past the end of this month, basically. But
no, because he's on the brighter things again.
He is on the brighter things again, and you can only use that flag so many times with his face on it.
I do love, and everybody's like, there's actually, you can tell me the name of the song once I get done saying this, but I love he comes out to his music, Better Than You.
Yeah.
But then when he wins, Corporal Kirshner's music just starts hitting, and he's definitely all-American. Somebody's going to come at us that was in the military or whatever, or at least come at me. There's a real name to that song. Stars and Stripes, whatever it's called. But it's always going to be Corporal Kirshner's theme song to me. With whatever, it was an American song before wrestling was around, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it's Corporal Kirshner's theme song to me.
No, that's fair. I used to know the name of that song. I don't know what it is now, but my ears have perked up every time I hear it now. And
is it because of Corporal Kirshner? Which we've mentioned him more times on this podcast.
That does help. The wrestling, this is the most he's gotten mentioned in a while. So if he's looking to come, well, whatever. But
yeah, I think he's passed. But
I think so. Yeah. As soon as I said it, I'm like, wait, no, I think that's past that. But anyways, it gets you right in the feels at that point. The All-American champion. By the way, the bullshit he pulled in Mexico was over the fucking top.
Yeah. I'm so glad he's back. I know he's been back for a while, but it just adds something. And I said this off air to Jenks, and I'll say it on air now. I don't care. Something's lacking on AEW right now for me, but MJF's getting it there. Swerve still has it. There's something in the middle that I'm like, there's hours of AEW TV right now that are rough for me.
I think we know what it is, but I think there's 3 elements of it that was dragging it. 2 of the 3 are back. Hangman and MJF. I think the third is Kenny. When Kenny's there, it's truly special, and it can truly be something unique, and can be very focused on the wrestling and be very much in it. Now, I'm not saying Kenny's not there behind the scenes. He probably is, just not on the screen. But until he gets back on the screen, I think you're right, it's missing something. Something's not there, but it's been gaining it back.
It has been.
Over the past couple weeks. Now, I will say, besides the MJF Ospreay week and the Blood and Guts week, the past couple weeks have been they've come down the hill a little bit.
Well, I said, after this week, we had MJF Fletcher, which I think was a great match.
Yeah.
I love the storytelling in that.
Fantastic.
I love that Ospreay, we didn't know was locked in a room until after we saw. Fletcher gets pummeled. He doesn't want to use a screwdriver, all of that. I thought that was all good. That was a lot of the show that I'm like, oh man, it trickled off real quick. And I'm not knocking Mariah's stuff because we're in the build, like all in, I mean, is 2 weeks away.
Yeah. We're
getting to those filler shows where next week we're going to get a shit ton of interviews probably. There's not going to be a lot of wrestling because you have to get that. Don't forget Tony Mariah's wrestling next week. And you're going to get all those promos to get us hyped up again. I think we're just in that middle lull of they had a great pay-per-view. Oh, it was spread out way too far from the great pay-per-view. There was 8 weeks compared to your 4 weeks now that were programmed to.
Yeah. Which, to that point, and then we're going to get 2 pay-per-views back-to-back.
Right.
Within a week of each other. We're programmed. The blood and guts in the MJF Ospreay match helped get us past that little bump in the road, that little longevity. But going back to your point now, those also triggered 3 weeks in between that and the go-home show, where it can be struggle bus city if it's not done properly.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can rely on MJF and his All-American bullshit that he's got going on there.
You love it, though.
It's something else, that's for sure. You gotta love it. It's a parody of a lot of just patriotism that's happening. It's just a parody of that right now.
Yes.
And he's doing it so well. That's just the way he does it, is so well.
I'll spin this because we'll keep MJF was involved in this. Reports have come out that, and this is 2 weeks old because Britt is now back, that she was suspended because her and Alicia Tao, which is MJF's girlfriend, got into something backstage. Mm-hmm. Was this a hell of a work for us? Because Britt had to go shoot Cobra Kai, and if you don't know that she's not on the new season of Cobra Kai, to get her off screen to go do that, which could lead into something down the line as well, or was there real issues? I mean, I don't know if we'll know, but I'm just like, it still fits into what Britt and Mercedes is doing because it stirred the pot a little bit there. It took Britt off to go record for what she needed to do. Listen, I know Britt's in Pittsburgh all weekend at Comic-Con, at Steel City Comic-Con, so she's doing signings there all weekend. Her and Swerve are there. If you didn't know and you're in the Pittsburgh area, it's actually in Monroeville, head over to Steel City Comic-Con and get their autographs along with a ton of other people. I don't even remember. I debated about going, but I need to play college football. That's a shoot. It's for real life. I need to play football.
He's got to get that dynasty. He's got to get the pits, guys.
Ideal.
He's got to get the video game Pitt versus actual city of Pitt.
I was just at Pittsburgh anyway, so I don't need to make a back-to-back nights. Where else are we going? Are you excited for? You brought up the Glamour, and we have to give it a That's your new champion, right?
That has to be our new champion. If somehow she doesn't beat Toni Storm, I would be shocked. I mean, she has the mind games on her side. The Glamour is built for this. She doesn't need, she waited in the wings, and now she is officially there. I feel like she's walking out with the title.
The only thing that would make me say Mariah's not winning it is a return we've been talking about for a year.
I'm not putting my hat on that boat. I'm not staying on that boat. I can't.
I know.
I thought about it while you were talking. I'm like, he's tricking me into this.
To get to Jamie and Tony. That would be the only thing. But I think there's way too much into Mariah and Tony to, even if she does return, this could keep Tony away from a rematch. After the match, Jamie comes, or maybe even Jamie helps Mariah. Because not saying Britt doesn't need her. That's going to come off bad or anything. Nobody, whatever. You could separate Britt and Jamie then, because we still think it's the thriller and the pillar, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Pillar and the killer. We can have that separation. Jamie and Tony doing mid-card stuff is main event stuff. If Jamie's back, good.
I'll throw this caveat in there. What if Mariah doesn't stop the attack and Jamie saves Tony? They played into it that they were best friends. They had a tip. Right. Tony said she's separated from blah, 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 blah. But there wasn't really any dastardly acts taken against Jamie. And yeah, Tony won the title when she was injured, but we can get past that.
Right.
That's easy to write off. Jamie saves Mariah. Then there's a whole thing that brings Toni Storm back from the timeless gimmick there. I do think they might be saving Jamie Hayter for All In London. It would make sense.
Yeah.
But pop that Forbidden Door, but London would be the best way to bring Jamie Hayter back.
Agreed. Agreed. We'll see. I think Mariah's your new champion, though. I
agree.
We're going to give away probably a lot of our spoilers. Where else do we want to go? Did you enjoy, I'll bring it to a match.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the Danielson and Jeff Jarrett match, which was just crazy AF?
It was crazy. I enjoyed it to a point. I think Jeff hitting with the guitar right out the gate, fighting, trying to bring it all around. It was a glorified anything goes match, but it really wasn't an anything goes match in my mind. I think I enjoyed the promo after from Swerve.
Thank you.
More.
I didn't mind Steamboat coming down, raising both hands. I was like, oh, that's a good way to get to where we're going, because there was 10 minutes left, so you knew something was happening.
But then Swerve coming out, calling Steamboat Jarrett the legend, and then himself the legend, basically running down Danielson and saying, "There's nothing, you're nothing in this equation."
You know who I feel bad for in this?
Who?
Yuta. Yuta's getting decimated.
Yuta's being thrown to the wolves. Yeah.
And I'm still always on a Yuta bandwagon. I love the kid, but he's still, I know he was pure champion for a while, and I know he held this, and I know he held that, and I know he's got his comeuppance somewhat. But then, is it because he has some accolades that Swerve can just throw him to the wolves, or couldn't have Swerve picked somebody a little bigger to do this to? Why not do it to... Because they don't want to... Well, the person I thought of was, Claudio.
But Claudio's got a title shot.
I know.
He's the next in line for Okada, so they can't sacrifice him. Mox is MIA. I don't know what happened to Mox. Maybe I missed something, but I don't know what happened to Mox. So... Yuta's big. He's the next best friend. He's literally the jobber for the BCC at this point.
Yeah. And it stinks. Yeah, I don't know. Tag teams aren't around in AEW anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to get FTR and the Acclaimed to put the Acclaimed over. Their title match. That's legitimately what's happening there.
This has just been a long, dusty, boring road to get to there.
Yeah.
We really are shitting on AEW, and I don't want to. This is we're going down a bad path, and things aren't meshing right now there, besides the number 1 and number 2 storyline.
Yeah, they're trying to make things work, but to your point, they've pulled back from the tag team division. They've pulled back. They're trying to do too much for 2 brands at this point.
They really are. 3 almost, because they really are keeping Collision and Dynamite completely different, and ROH.
Yeah. It's 3 different shows going on at one time.
And we were all like, oh man, we talked about the brand split all the time in WWE. Keep people off. I don't know if AEW is there for a brand split.
I think they have to do an informal one at some point, because you have to sit there and say who truly should be in ROH, who should truly be on Collision, without it being 5 matches and 5 basically enhancement matches at that point. 3 different promos.
Shout out to past guest Clara Carter for getting rocked by Camille.
Yeah.
And I mean that nicely. I'm glad Clara got on TV.
Yeah. I think they just have to kind of settle and say, okay, you guys are on Dynamite, you guys get featured in Collision. Make us, as the viewers, want to view those shows. I think they have the talent.
They do.
They just have it backwards because they're only showcasing certain ones on certain nights. If you're going to have 14 storylines, 14 matches in one card, chances are you have room to do 14 different storylines on 2 different shows. And then ROH gets its own show.
You got 4 hours.
You got 4 hours to make 14 storylines work instead of cramming 10 of them into 2-week time period.
Yeah. Because that's what's going to happen next week.
Mm-hmm.
We have to fill the rest of the card.
We have to fill the rest of the card.
Do we know what is officially booked? Can you do computer work? I usually say don't do it, but we know it's Danielson and Swerve. We know it's Mariah and Tony. We know it's Britt and Mercedes.
MJF and Will. Darby and Jack. And
I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah, and they did name the Casino Gauntlet match for All In.
Which are all built around titles or their major storylines.
Yep.
So what is that? 7 matches we named, right?
6. Yeah.
6. Per AEW standards, we need a minimum of 6 more.
And All In's a bigger pay-per-view, so you're going to do some bigger things.
Right.
I say we're going to get... We still don't have the tag titles. So that'll be the Young Bucks and Acclaimed, probably. So that'll be your 7th. Where do you go from there?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like the mid-card. And again, I keep going down to the mid-card. Mid-card has nothing built right now that I'm like, oh.
Well, I'll throw 2 more out there. At least 2 more. One is a title. Claudio, they've picked that one. That's got to go on there. Paige has got to do something.
I would think.
And the only built-in storyline right now that doesn't involve Swerve is Jeff Jarrett. Because of what he did to him in the Owen tournament, plus the shit afterwards, plus releasing Swerve into the Blood and Guts match. And there's something there. It could be Jeff and Hangman for another quick match. Yeah.
That's a stretch. Honestly, to me, that right now, that's a stretch because I'm like, I want to see that again.
I don't want to see anything like that again. I want to see Hangman, but I want to see Hangman not in. But here's the other flip side of that. I just talked myself out of it. Casino Gauntlet match is for a world title shot.
Right.
Paige is in that.
There's Hangman.
But
then are we saying this is Danielson's last match? Or are you giving the title? Because remember that stipulation.
I'm going to hold back on some of the thoughts for our prediction show, but there's a lot at play there where Hangman's chasing him, but for some reason or something, divine intervention, if you will, he never gets Swerve for the time being.
Right. I don't. Again, that doesn't need to have a title involved into it. When we get a chainsaw death match between those two,
I still don't know.
I don't want the title. I don't even want the title involved.
I still don't know how they're gonna fucking top Texas Death Match.
I don't know. They have to. Do they have to?
I feel like this is such a blood match at this point, blood grudge match at this point. Like, the whole time Hangman was in Blood and Guts, it was Swerve.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing. Once Swerve was not involved, he was not a part of the match.
Mm-mm. No. Did you like this year's Blood and Guts? Because we didn't get to talk about it.
I did. I did like this year's Blood and Guts.
It was different from the other ones.
Yes.
Which made me like it a little bit. I always liked them.
Yeah, it didn't lean as much into the violent visuals as the other ones did, but it was still violent enough to be classified as a Blood and Guts match. You still had your spot off the side, somebody falling through tables. You still had that wild moment inside. You still had Swerve and the fucking Elite with staple gun showdown type thing, which I loved the shit out of that. And then you had that climactic ending to it.
See, that's where
the chair shot was a little much, but
the chair shot was a lot. Not just a little. The chair shot was a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't like that the gasoline thing. And it's not because I don't want to see somebody on fire. We just had somebody on fire. We just had, a couple months ago, AJ handcuffed to a corner where Cody was going to hit him, and he gave up that way. That, to a blood and gut match, to have it end like that, I was like, again, it's not that I didn't want to see somebody caught on fire. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like, come on. Like, legit, I was pissed that's the way it just, and then it just ended. Boom.
See, I love that ending. Because that was a legitimate way to end that for me. Like, the AJ with the chair thing, or with the stairs, it seemed hokey. It just didn't see it. It didn't make sense for what they did. Plus, I was also pissed Cody was knocked the fuck out during the middle of the match, and then somehow he miraculously won it.
Well, you have to say I quit.
You have to say, apparently
you're dead.
You're dead, but you have to say I quit somehow. So you still be in it. It's like a Weekend of Birdies match at that point. Or Kenny Omega wrestling a doll at that point. But for this, it was Jack Perry never saw the flames coming at Anarchy in Arena. Now he's looking dead on in it. They made Jack Perry the toughest son of a bitch in the match because he refused to quit. He got cracked, unprotected with a steel chair. Right, wrong, indifferent. It happened. He's looking, his body up in flames, dead in the eyes of Darby. Was not going to give up. It was Matt Jackson, or Nick Jackson, one of the Jacksons. Sorry, Miss Jackson. That never meant to make your son cry. All right. Anyways, but
the dog just left. By the way,
they were done with that. They gave it up because they didn't want to see that. It was a hostage situation inside Blood and Guts, which I think that's where I liked it. Because that's the way it ended, it was essentially a hostage. He wasn't going to give it up, so somebody had to give it up for him. Because he was too stupid to give it up at that point. Okay. The scapegoat is too manly, ballsy. Man. That's too ballsy, yeah. Beating his chest and all that. It's too much for that.
So I'm not excited yet for All In, is where I'm going with this. I'm excited for some stuff, but I'm the mark that they need to sell me more.
They don't need to sell me more.
No?
MJF Ospreay sold me.
Right, yeah, the first match.
That first match sold me.
But I don't think it's going to be as good as the first match. I'm now on that. I think something's going to come out of this.
Probably. But they've already sold me on that. They sold me on the women's title because when Mariah took the shoe to Tony, the layers that happened there, I lost it. That sold me. Legitimately, that's what sold the pay-per-view for me, was that storyline turning on its head. Yeah, it's Danielson shot, great. You had MJF and Ospreay, that's going to be fantastic. But it was that storyline that made me want to buy All In that night.
Is Britt Mercedes doing anything for you?
Not right now, but it started to. But it's not my main attraction. And I don't think it's going to crack the top 3 of the main attractions.
I don't think it is either.
They could steal the show, but I don't think they have very stiff competition.
They do. They do. It's going to be a banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
I'm just being the devil's advocate saying, are we ready to spend $50? $60, whatever it is. You are.
I'm ready. You're not.
I'm probably at $30 right now.
Okay.
If we're in the middle. I need, and I say there's too much sometimes, but I'm programmed that I need more from AEW. I just don't want to be watching 0 Hour and matches are made that day for me to care about on the pay-per-view, which is I've already had to buy, essentially.
Right.
But, yeah.
I get that.
But it has sold me, Jenks, because it's 1 o'clock compared to...
I mean, that's something else, isn't it? 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Really, it's essentially, Jenks, and I know I keep going back to this, the next 2. Well, I'm not going to lie. That one, because I will not watch Bash live.
Yeah.
I'll be at Heinz Field.
Well,
there's that. But the 24th is starting to program us for what? Oh, you have to be doing stuff Saturday afternoons in front of your TV.
Yep, exactly.
You.
Yep. I will say this. I can't watch All In live that day. I'm getting pulled into a fantasy draft at that point. So, and it's offline. So, unfortunately.
Oh, shit. I can't either.
Why?
Wait, no.
No, you're good.
25th.
Yeah, 25th.
Yes. Well, we'll have to be home from Cleveland by 1 o'clock.
Yeah, you're going to have to be home by 1 o'clock. I had already thought about that when you told me about that.
I keep thinking, because now WWE has me programmed that pay-per-views on Saturdays again, and I kind of forget that AEW still is doing Sundays. Oh, Galbo, you listening? We'll be up at 7 o'clock in the morning on the 25th to come back from Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true, because, you're going to want to catch the 0 Hour, right?
Yeah. I can do it in 2.5. So we leave at 7, we get home by 9:30.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's good here. The house doesn't burn down from randomness that's going on here that weekend. You have anything on AEW? Because we're dragging our feet. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm good on AEW right now.
I think the build-up is coming the next week and a half. I really do, to really get us sold. You're right, Jenks. It has been sold with MJF and Ospreay and Danielson and Swerve. I'm excited about that. Mariah's always been my girl, so it's going to be good. I just think we need some of the matches prior to the main events. The 6 that are already out there.
Yeah.
Why I don't need to turn in until 3 o'clock.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm just wrestling. I love it right now.
I do. I really do. Everything's hot. I said this last week when Ryan and I were talking. I'm really on that. And this is not a paid promotion or anything like that. When I don't have anything to do, I'll throw the fight on. It's like $4.99 a month, and I'm watching stuff from the North Carolinas or stuff from like Maine or everything, and really diving into some like independent stuff that I don't know people. And I'm like, wrestling really right now, it is at a golden era because there's just so much. And if I don't know some people from Maine, But they engulf me. Then I'm like, oh, I need to start stalking this person to see what they're doing because of one match that I just saw on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'm like,
it gets you.
It's so good. What do you got going on for the week, my fine fellow?
The week tomorrow, it's gonna be a lot of college football probably. Gonna see my niece for the first time since being back, but college football, and then week is just work and all of that stuff. Got wedding stuff on the agenda.
Oh, that's on the agenda forever now.
Yeah, that's on the agenda for the next 9 months or so, whatever it is, 12, 15, 95, whatever that ends up being. But yeah, so that's basically the week right now. What about you?
Same thing tomorrow for you. I'll tidy up around here as I do every Saturday, and then dive into college football because somebody's going the overnight with his friends. So, complete bachelor.
Oh, wow.
Well, me and the boys will order pizza and drink beer and play college football. For work-wise, listen, if you want a job, there's jobs out the ass at the Ridgeway Borough right now. We're losing another person because he's going to someplace else. We're down to a 4-man crew, and it's just, it's getting rough. And guess what happens pretty soon? It starts snowing.
Oh, yeah.
So there's probably going to be a lot of overtime until I hope we can get some people in soon. I don't know if the job market's rough or if people just are still not ready to work. I don't know.
Low from column A, low from column B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bonus though, got one more week. And then I actually get a day off.
Whoa.
Pool's closing on the 18th.
Look out.
And then the 19th I will be off. Off since Memorial Day.
Wow. Love it. Waiting for it.
Fucking static. Static. I'll know what sleeping in until 7 o'clock means. Whew.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'll be jealous in 2 weeks.
Jenks, remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. Had to make sure I remembered that, but make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Whoop whoop.